Lesson learned. You know?
Have you guys ever talked about disappearing balls?
My dog had
I don't
that.
think so. Is that when they go up in your body?
Yeah, they're way more free flowing than I thought. I remember my my ex wife, the first girl, my real high school girlfriend, or like the long term first real relationship. You know, we did everything. We learned all the shit. And when she was jerking me off, you're like, hey, it feels really good when you squeeze the balls. And you know, she's a girl. What does she do? You know, real aggressive. And you know, as she's going after it, she's like, oh, this is weird. It's like different. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? It's like, I don't know. It's like you only have one ball. And I reached down. I was like, whoa. And I was so. I don't know if you know what it's like to reach down and be missing a fucking testicle. But it was I was very afraid because I was like, this is not possible. I don't know how a ball is just as weird. And yeah, I guess sometimes they go, if you push them too hard, they kind of go up into. Like,
is this a thing that happens to all guys?
Damn.
You can do it right now.
I can't.
Yeah.
Mine are fixed. They're sewn in.
No,
oh wait,
I do.
because of the surgery.
I'm gonna.
As part of the surgery, they put them in place and they sew them there, and there they stay.
Okay.
I have adopted like a whole move when I'm getting any like hand job, blow job, or whatever of doing like a Vulcan thing and splitting my cock just because I'm so like she's always pressing exactly like you're describing into the wrong, like the exact wrong spot on my balls. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to always like putting like a cattle or what are those things in the front of a train down there to keep them out of that.
Cow something, right?
Keep them out of that.
Like
can we? Okay. At the risk of projecting too much again, then
What'd
can we? Is everyone else?
I don't know. I said cow killer. That's not what it's called.
It is absolutely ridiculous, right? When a woman grabs just like the very base of your dick and is like jerking it up and down. Does this feel like anything to you guys?
It feels like I'm upset that I'm not getting a better hand job. Yeah. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's where she's just like, dude, she's like, yeah, do you like it?
Yeah, do it on the least sensitive
Why don't
part.
you do it on, like something, like this would be like me rubbing like your pubis and like asking if I'm hitting your clit. Like I'm not really getting anything from this at all. I don't know what you expect me to say right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those high school handies you get, you know, it's a learning curve for everybody.
They'd be perfect if they stayed in high school, but somehow they creep into your 20s and 30s too, you know, depending on who you're with. So.
And then you're wondering, how did the last guy tolerate this? Like,
that's why you know he was the last guy. Maybe now it makes more sense. The worst experience you'll ever have when you date in your 30s, the worst experience you'll ever have is you feel like there's no normal, sane people to date anymore. And then every now and then you'll run into like a woman, and I'm sure women experience this with men. You run into a woman, you're like, holy shit, I found a unicorn. You're attractive, you're smart, you're awesome, you're so cool. How are you fucking single? And then you're with her for 2 weeks and you're like, oh, you're fucking crazy. And then you always find it. You always find the thing. Maybe you wake up and you have 87 missed text messages. You know, maybe she shows up after the second time you fucked and she's got like a suitcase with her out of nowhere. Like there's always something that makes dating in your 30s impossible. Oh my God.
Are you actively trying to date right now?
Well,
are you dating someone?
I have a girlfriend now, but she's like fucking 21 because, you know, there you go.
Hell yeah,
streamer
brother.
Lifestyle, I guess.
Hell yeah.
Make compromises, I guess.
He's been dating for 6 years.
Stock is skyrocketing.
Watch out. You can do that. You do the Drake move where you date him. Oh, well, she's legal. You know, she's 18. You know, I knew her since she was 12. Not me. That's the Drake story. Okay.
That's the Drake. There was some story that got put out on Twitter from some rag. And it got removed because everybody was roasting him so hard. It was like this gay couple where they're like, we're an intergenerational couple. I'm 55. He's 22. People think we're weird. But ever since we met 7 years ago, we started and it was like, what? You put that in the article? Like, why would you do that?
Every time you read the Reddit relationship, there's like a relationships help advice that where people are like, oh, my problem, me and my boyfriend. And there's like a 20-year age gap. The first thing you're always looking for is when do they start dating? What are they starting? Like 22 dating a 32-year-old, started dating 1 year ago. Oh, okay. You know, 23 started dating a 37-year-old, started dating 7 years ago. Something is not right here. Yeah.
Well, he was my history teacher.
Yeah.
And we went from there. Yeah, that shit's not cool.
Maybe he was a libertarian, I guess would be the...
He was. He was like, explain to me. We've talked about the non-aggression principle enough. I want to know about not being able to bang young kids. That's the real thing that this country needs to deal with.
It used to be pot. Yeah. I always thought the number one topic for libertarians was pot. Like that was
I think
it used to be. They used to be sensible.
Yeah. But now everybody's on the same page with pot for the most part.
Almost,
Even my old grandparents, like from a very, very rural area, are like they just don't care. It's like, yeah, like we saw how much money Colorado's making from it. May as well legalize it so we're not getting taken advantage of.
Not everyone. Like Jeff Sessions he brought back all the enforcement on it.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, we're naming the
sucks.
most extreme like right wingers.
Like literally the
life's
last guy
mission.
to be in charge of it.
Yeah.
How could you like expend that much energy to be against pot? Like
It
it's
reminds
such
me
a
of
non-
the. It reminds me of the
People just don't
titty
wanna
thing.
admit they're wrong.
the
Yeah.
what thing?
It
People
reminds me of
oh,
the
go
titty
ahead.
thing. Where it's like, dude, like if a woman wants to go and show her fucking boobs, who the fuck cares? Why is this your problem so much? Like the weed thing, man, you can't. I am so mad. I'll sit across the table from my mom. We'll be out at a restaurant, okay? If I go down to Florida to visit her, she'll be sipping on a fucking margarita, telling me like, well, you know, Stevie, the problem with weed is you can't just have, one hit. You get addicted to it, and it's so bad for your body. It's like Jesus fucking Christ, like just fucking kill me now. Like holy shit.
Yeah, I'd rather have more people high than drunk out in public, and everyone agrees.
I'd rather have people on any other drug than alcohol. Like you wake up from
Any other
just
drug.
I mean, except for meth, like except
I live in the
for
Midwest. Let's keep meth out of meth out of
Yeah,
the
except
conversation.
for
The
meth,
fentanyl
and-
shit and the
Having
and
to
then
walk
I don't-
into
I
a
don't even know
rural
about
Phillips
that.
66 where there's a tweaker like right by the door. It's a scary experience. You keep head down, you just like act the way you do around a feral dog. Just hope that they don't get fixated on you as they're like talking to themselves.
Well, if you come to California or LA more specifically, we have whole cities built with tents for these people to live in. So
You gotta bring your
Do
own
you walk,
tent,
have
though.
you ever walked by it?
you drive by them. There's like underpasses. I don't know where in LA specifically, but you can drive by just certain underpasses. You'll just see they're like lined with tents of where all the homeless people live. I guess it's pretty. Fucking
Why do they
weird,
choose
but-
those spots? Like,
No
Because it's
rain.
warm and no
Yeah.
rain and. Yeah.
is there
Relatively
are
why
they near
those
like
overpasses
shelters
specifically?
or what is it called where they hand out the food?
Food.
Soup kitchen?
Soup
Yeah,
kitchen
soup
is what I
kitchen.
was looking for. Are they near like a soup? Are they convenient to free food or?
In a place like LA, you probably make enough begging. You can probably pay for food. We might guess.
Well, they are insane too. What do you gotta?
Sometimes,
Some of them.
yeah. I've been to LA a bunch of times, and that's right. Like the crazy people follow you, and you're like, it's almost like, what are you gonna do with this guy? You just institutionalize him and like take care. He can't take care of himself.